Is the new ASICS Gel Nimbus 25 worth the price tag? Let's take a look. Hello fellow geeks and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I am glad you are here. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, then you know that I have been a fan of the ASICS Gel Nimbus for many years now. And I have run through several different iterations of the Gel Nimbus ever since I first started running. Now, while I have typically been happy with the Gel Nimbus, I will admit that last year was a good model with the 24, but not great. It did have some flaws to it, and thankfully it looks like ASICS has taken all of the feedback that runners have been giving and have really redesigned the Nimbus for the 25th iteration. So before I give you my opinion after taking a couple of runs in them, I thought we would go over a little bit of the specs just to give you some more information about the shoe. Now, the Gel Nimbus 25 in the women's comes in 12 different colorways, and I opted for this one. This is called Pink Rave and Pure Silver. I absolutely could not resist this pink. But if pink is not your thing, I totally understand. There are lots of other colors to choose from. Now, I wear a women's size 8.5, which weighs in at 260 grams, and there's a total stack height of 40.5 millimeters down to 32.5 millimeters. So that's a pretty good drop there, but I am used to that with the ASICS. They are made more for comfort than for anything else. Now, taking a look at the upper, this is an engineered knit upper that wraps the foot with a soft feel, and they have improved the breathability since last time. And you'll see that the tongue here has a little bit of padding on it, but not too much. It is made out of the same knit material and it is gusseted, so it is attached on both sides of the shoe, so it's not going to slide around while you are running. Now, the sock liner is produced with a dyeing process that reduces water usage by approximately 33%, and it reduces carbon emissions by 45% compared to what they have done previously. ASICS has done a whole lot to try to make a more sustainable product, and at least 75% of this upper material is made with recycled content to help reduce waste and carbon emissions. So they are taking some really great steps in trying to be more environmentally friendly. You'll see that on the side and on the back of the shoes, these are reflective details that will pick up more light in low light conditions. Also, two things that make the Gel Nimbus what they are first of all, the pure gel technology, which is injected into the heel in order to provide lightweight cushioning and softer landing in the heel, and also the Flight Foam Blast Eco Plus technology, which is in the midsole. It creates a softer landing and a more responsive toe off. The Gel Nimbus also features the AHAR outsole rubber and the Ortholite X55 sock liner. So overall, if you are looking for a shoe for neutral or for underpronation support and you are looking for the most cushioning possible, then the Gel Nimbus is definitely one that you need to take a look at. So that being said, let me just tell you a little bit of what I've noticed about it. I have taken the Gel Nimbus on two runs. One was on a sunny, clear day, and I have also taken this out today on a rain run. As you can see, I am still drying from after my run. So let me tell you some of the things that I have noticed first off. This is probably the most comfortable version of the Gel Nimbus that ASICS has come out with, and that is saying a lot because the Gel Nimbus is made for superior cushioning. It's made to go on those long distances to keep you as comfortable for as long as possible. So you'll notice that when you look at the shoe, the sole is definitely a lot wider than it has been, and again, this is to give you the most control as possible. It's trying to keep you in a neutral form while you are running. You'll notice that with the shape of the sole that it tends to roll forward, so it's going to give you a really good toe off. But you'll notice when you're wearing it that the midsole is shaped so much as to almost put your feet on rails to keep you going straight forward. So this is very, very good for if you are wanting to maintain a good, proper form. This is going to help you out because the sole is formed in such a way that it's going to almost put your foot on rails and try to roll it forward and in a straight line. So I found that really helpful. I also noticed when I put these on that there's not as much support in the arch as there has been in previous iterations. However, going right down the middle of the shoe, there is a lot of extra cushioning going right down it's like a strip going right down the middle of your foot. So there's that extra cushioning going down the middle, not so much in the arch, but through the rest of the middle of your foot. Another thing that I noticed, and you may be able to see it here, is back here in the heel, there is a ton of cushioning right in the back where your Achilles is. So if you tend to have thicker ankles, this may not be a comfortable fit. Just to give you an idea of how thick it is, normally I have to do the runner's lock where, you know, you lace it in such a certain way in order to heel lock that on. This is thick enough that it grabs onto my heel and I do not have to use that lacing technique. So if you tend to have discomfort in the back, in the Achilles area of your heel, then this may cause a little bit of discomfort. It's entirely up to you, but definitely make sure that you try them on so that you can see what that feels like before you go for a run in these. Now with this wider sole, they may not be the most attractive on the block, but these are definitely going to give you a ton of cushioning and a ton of support. These are fantastic for long miles, which is what I buy the Gel Nimbus for. I use them to go on all of my long runs. And to be honest, I really could see myself getting a lot of miles out of these. In fact, most of the reviews that I read about these have been people that are wearing them during work, a lot of people that work in the medical field and things like that, and they're finding that these can stand up to 12-hour shifts with lots of comfort. So if you're looking for something to stand up to long distances and long times on your feet, then this is definitely something you're going to want to look at. Now, I did take these on a run today in the rain, and I did find that the soles, you'll see that there's not really a whole lot of nubs to the soles, not a whole lot of grip to them. It works if you are on a dry surface or if you are running on a surface that's more rough. But if you are on a slicker surface, if you're running on a smooth surface and it is raining, I did find that the forefoot area was kind of slippery. Okay, that could have just been me, I don't know, but every time I toed off, it would slip a little bit. So that is something that you need to be aware of, that these, if you are going to run on a sidewalk or a smooth surface in the rain, you need to be aware that these will cause some slippage. So be prepared for that. Now let's talk a little bit about the price of these. Now I know I am not alone in noticing that ASICS has been steadily raising their prices on their product year after year to the point where they are almost feels like they were pricing themselves out of the market. They were kind of giving us an okay product for a rather high sticker price. And these shoes retail at $160 US. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth the money? Now, if this were the Gel Nimbus 24, I would say hold off on them and maybe wait until it's an older model and wait for them to be cheaper, which is what I tend to do a lot of times, just buy an old model at a cheaper price. In this case, though, if you are willing to spend the $160, you're getting a quality product. In this case, I feel that ASICS is charging a price that is worth the quality of the shoe that they have put out. I really honestly believe that. And I'm going to come back to these after I've run about 100 miles in them or so and see if I still feel that way. But just with the 2 runs that I have done in them so far, both in dry conditions and in wet conditions, I would definitely say that just with the experience that I have had in them, they were worth what ASICS is asking for them. And that's not something that I could say about some of their more recent stuff. As I mentioned, the Gel Nimbus 24, which is kind of okay, not quite worth the sticker price on that. The Gel Nimbus Lights, the Gel Nimbus Light 2 was pretty good. The next version of the Gel Nimbus Light 3s went down in quality but went up in price. And so ASICS has kind of been dropping the ball on that. But I will say that these are definitely worth the money that you're going to pay for them, because these are without a doubt the most comfortable shoes that I have ever put on. That being said, these are really only for someone that's looking to put in long, slow distances. I could definitely see myself doing a lot of training in these, lots of long runs in these. However, they are not quite as responsive as a lighter shoe. Now, you heard me mention earlier that the women's size 8.5 is measuring in at about 260 grams. This is not a light shoe, and therefore if you are wanting to pick up the speed, this is not the shoe to do it in. If you are wanting to do something that is more for speed, then you are definitely going to want to look at a lighter shoe for racing purposes. If you're looking for a very speedy 5K or 10K, this is probably not the one to do it in. But if you are just looking to stay comfortable for long distances, for example, I'm not a speedy marathon runner, but I would definitely run a marathon in these because they're going to keep me comfortable for all those hours that I'm out there on my feet. So not great for speed, but super great for distances. There you go. There is some information about the new Gel Nimbus 25 by ASICS. Is this a shoe that you have tried out before? Is this one that you would consider trying out for yourself? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below? You could also give this video a thumbs up. Both of those help me get out to more runners and walkers just like you. You could also subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps keep you up to date on all the running adventures that I'm having all the time. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so glad you could be here. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. I'll see you later.